Good evening and welcome to the campus of Missouri Valley College in Marshall, Missouri. And we start Heart of America Conference postseason soccer tonight as the Vikings take on the Culver Stockton Wildcats here on Greg Mitchell Field. The Vikings come in with a record of 14-2-1, 8-1-1 in league play. And Culver Stockton 8-9-1, 4-5-1. These teams met earlier in the season in Canton. The Vikings came away with a 3-2 win. And you may remember a year ago in postseason, I did not until I was reminded of this today, that these two teams met on this same field, and it was quite a battle with Culver Stockton pulling off a semifinal upset 4-3 in overtime. You know, a very cold night when these teams met, but not the case tonight. Very pleasant, calm evening, and this is going to be a busy place this weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, the Missouri Valley College Viking football team will host number 3 Baker. At 1:30, we'll be on the air and have the video for you on the live stream at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll be here for a while, but tonight it is soccer. So enjoy the match between the Wildcats and the Vikings. Robert Jones in goal for Culver. He is out of Troy, Illinois, and Christos Kontomeris out of Athens, Greece, in goal for the Vikings. As you take a look, the Vikings in the orange jerseys with the white trunks, and Culver in the gray tops with the blue trunks. And we're underway in this opening game of the conference tournament. We'll go over the schedule here in just a moment. We have some comments coming up from Vladimir Simic as well as we go along tonight. But underway, the Vikings try to press the issue early on. The women play tomorrow afternoon. The women will play at Mid-America Nazarene at 1 o'clock, and then our women's volleyball team will play Mid-America at here's a one-on-one, and Culver, ooh, boy, they had a good opportunity early on and unable to come up with it. They had a 2-on-1 break, and the Vikings were fortunate that it wasn't an early goal for the Wildcats. I mentioned our volleyball team plays tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, also at Mid-America. So a lot going on this weekend. Corner kick, the first of the night, coming up for Culver. And they'll send this one in and send it by the goal. Well, the Vikings will send it up into the stands. Well, we have a few fans here from Culver, and quite a few here for the Vikings sitting to our right. Robert Jones in goal for the Wildcats, and again, Kontomeris in goal for the Vikings, wearing his fluorescent lime green uniform tonight. Ball is out right in front of the Viking bench. Vladimir Simic, the head coach of the Vikings, and Blake Ordell is the head coach of the Wildcats. We're just underway. The winners play again on Tuesday night with the conference championship game on the field of the highest seed a week from tonight. Vikings will have possession. Here are some of the starters. Geronimo Este for Culver Stockton. Alfredo Ferreira, Dominic Caruso, Jacob Shireding, Santiago DeRocco, Tyler Paith, John Holmeyer, Thierno Diallo, Alejandra Ventasti, and Mackenzie Northern. That's the starting lineup for the Wildcats. For the Vikings, Albert Balcells, Luke Russell, Fabio Calderon, Tiago Ferreira, Jose Montesino, Raul Bonet, who, by the way, is the conference offensive player of the year. Also, Juan Carlos Harris, Mark Heeman, Luis Nervas, and Antonio Gespert, and Mark Campbell. That's your starting lineup for the Vikings. We're just underway, no score. Opening night of conference tournament play. Battle for possession around midfield. It's going to be controlled by the Wildcats. on the far side of the field as we look from west to east on Greg Mitchell Field. Contreras comes out of goal to handle that one for the Vikings. Boy, I tell you, Culver had a great chance early on, a 2-on-1, and could not capitalize. It could have been big early in this match. Heeman now gives it off to Montesino. Long pass, right side. That is onside. Good footwork in the middle by the Vikings. Off to Calderon. And he'll send it left side. And here's Ferraro, sends one from about 30 yards out, and that goes high, wide right. Robert Jones in goal for the Wildcats. We're at the 40-minute mark of the first half. The only real good chance by the Wildcats early on. They had a 2-on-1. Bonet for the Vikings sends it back to one of his defenders. Now they'll shoot it up the right side, and they're going to rule this play as onside. But getting there was Geronimo Este, a man out of Argentina. Vikes will have the throw in. They quickly bring it in. We'll hear from Vlade Simic in just a few moments, and he talks about how he wants his team to continue to attack tonight. Here come the Vikings again. They'll send it in. Oh, good defensive play. Ferraro has it, and this time his shot again goes high and right. Our live stream crew will be busy this weekend, tonight's game, and also the football game tomorrow. All right, so here's send this one about midfield. Vikings go back to get it, and they'll send it all the way back to Contreras. American football going on tonight. A lot of high school games tonight in the area as well. So a lot happening in the area. But this is the big match for Viking and Wildcat fans. Ferraro right down in front of us, battling for possession. Calderon has it. Here come the Vikings on the attack. Send it off to the right side. Wildcat defense is back, and possession's going to go to the Wildcats. Blake Ordell yelling out instructions to his Wildcat club. No score. We're in the first half of the semifinal game. As we watch the action, let's get a couple comments. I had a chance earlier to visit with Vlade Simic, and we'll get those comments in a minute. Here come the Vikings on the attack again, where they really want to attack. Have it on the right side and send this one out. But had a chance to visit with Vlade Simic earlier in the evening before the contest, and let's get those comments.
Vlade Simic joins me just moments away from the start of this match. And Vlade, first of all, congratulations on another really great season.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a good regular season. So now it's time to turn up and play playoff games.
I tell you what, this conference is tough day in, day out, isn't it?
I mean, as I said, always this is probably the best and toughest conference in the entire country. So it's tough to play and win games, but for some reason we are doing it.
Now, the last time you played this club in Canton, you won it 3-2. What was key that day?
I mean, we started pretty good. I mean, we possessed the ball and we score and utilize our chances. It was 3-0 in the first half. So hopefully we'll play like that tonight.
Now, I'm sure the guys who were here last year remember a 4-3 overtime loss to this same club last year, and I'm sure some of them still remember that.
Of course, we remember. I mean, it was a good game. It was negative 20 degrees, but
Yeah.
that wasn't the reason that we lost. But we played the game with maybe not 100% for some reason, and hopefully things will be different tonight.
All right, what's the key for tonight then, Volley? What are we going to see if your club's going to be successful?
I mean, moving the ball well, utilizing the space and wings, and taking our chances and opportunities to score. So hopefully, with all the practices that we did in the past few days, I think we're ready to do it.
One other thing, a lot of respect for your club in all conference. You did quite well in all conference. Offensive Player of the Year too.
I mean, it's always nice to see some of the guys recognized, and especially in this kind of tough conference. So I'm happy to have a couple guys in the first and obviously in the second team. So
let's get this one tonight. We'll be back here Tuesday, right?
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, so there you have Vlade Simic talking before the match, and while we were listening to that and you were watching, the Vikings had a couple of corner kicks, could not have really a good chance off of that. And as we play now with 35 and a half minutes to go in the first half, no score. Conemaris comes out of goal. Here come the Vikings working up their left side. And this pass, will it be onside? It will to Heeman. Heeman sends it out in front and a slide. Oh, and just could not come up with it. Oh, man, Heeman got to that one. He was onside. And I think, let's see who that was. It was just not unable to catch up with it. I believe that was Juan Carlos Harris, number 16. That was kind of a decent chance for the Vikings there. Their best chance of the night. But as you heard Vlade say, wanted to keep the pressure on, and so far it seems like the Vikings are doing that. Here they come again. Heeman is it back to Montesino. Down to the middle to Harris. But the Culver defense is there. Really nice evening. You can't ask for a better night on the 6th of November. Throw in for the Vikings across the way on the east side of the field. I guess technically you'd say the northeast side, the way this field is laid out. Collision, the penalty is going to be called. McKenzie, the penalty was on Mackenzie Northern. Mackenzie's out of Leeds, England. Several English players on both of these clubs, several Spaniards on both of these clubs. Montemiris has to come way out. Montemiris has to come way out there to get to that one, and does. All right, Culver will have possession. And putting it in play will be Santiago Doroco. Ball in front of the Viking goal, and now shot taken from about 25 yards out, goes high, wide right. Good clean start to this match. Vikings have it. Working on the far side. And this play is onside. Now it goes out. It'll be Valley possession. Vikings get it into Gisbert. Antonio out of Spain. Here come the Vikings. looking for that first goal. Nice move by Fiaro. He sends it with the left foot, and this one hooks wide right. He put that with the left foot, and he kind of started it at the right post, and it hooked right of that. So he's had 3 decent chances early on. Has Ferraro. This one goes by the defense, picked up by Robert Jones. Jones will send it up the right side for his club. Tries to get it to Mentasti, and he does. Mentasti sends it in high, wide left. We've played 15 minutes of this one, no score. We'll try to keep you updated from Twitter on some of the other scores tonight as well. Here come the Vikings again on the attack. Good job by the defense of the Wildcats to take that one away. There's a trip by the Vikings, so Culver will have possession at midfield. And that'll be Diallo. To put it in play. Well, not. It was going to be Diallo, now it's not, but he's back there as well, and putting it in play was Esti. Off the foot of Shireding. This one goes out right in front of the Viking bench. No score early in this one. Again, we'll try to keep you updated on other scores going on tonight if we certainly get any of those. Ooh, pretty good collision. Wow. Heeman both went for the ball. And you could hear that one up here. And we got kicked in the shin. Understand from John that men's basketball lost 82-74 to William Woods. They'll face Columbia College at 7 tomorrow. The Wildcats had the halftime lead, but 48-39, but lost that game 82-74. And glad to have you with us if you're rooting for the Wildcats or rooting for the Vikings tonight. And let's see. He's all right. And that is Duroko. So he and Heeman met about midfield, both going after that ball. And Coach Blake Ordell was over there to make sure everything was all right. All right. Throw in will come for the Wildcats, and it'll be Shireding, right by Valley Coach Vladimir Simic. Of the games tonight, number 1 Baker hosting William Penn. CMU hosting Grandview tonight. And Mid-American Nazarene hosting Benedictine. Vikings beat Baker 2 weeks ago on this field, 2 weeks ago tomorrow, 1-0, but still ended up as a second seed. Send this one back to Contreras. Now Bonet. We'll give you the all-conference team as we go along this tonight as well. The Viking basketball teams, the women start tomorrow night at the Burns Center, just south of us. That'll be at 7. We'll have that on the audio on Stretch Internet. We will not have the video of that. We'll have the audio tomorrow night. And the men travel to Hannibal LaGrange to start their season tomorrow evening. No score. Winner of this game will play Tuesday night. Vikings with possession, Montesino. Ferraro through a couple of defenders. Good footwork. Now loses the handle on it. Goes to Northern. But the Vikes get it right back. And give it off to Raul Benet. Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. 27 minutes to go in a scoreless first half. Here comes the throw in. It'll be from Shireding. He's going to send it all the way back to Robert Jones. Vikings with possession. Here's Benet. Raul. It's a nice move. Keeps his balance. Sends it in. It's high, wide right. That was his best opportunity of the night. Again, conference play. Culver 4-5-1. Valley 8-1-1. With a 3-2 win over this Culver team earlier in the year in Canton. Jones sends it to midfield. Bonet right at midfield, trying to control it. Vikings going to lose control of this one, and it's taken away by Cooper, who checked in. That is Thomas Cooper out of England. Well, the Vikes get it back. 25 minutes to go. In this first half. This one will go out. Vikings will have a throw in right around midfield. Try to send it all the way across from left to right. Vikings with possession. That's Mark Campbell. Sends it into the Wildcat end with the left foot.
And there's enough soccer on TV that you can just watch for a few minutes, watch the game, watch the tight games, and see what they're doing.
Here's Heaton, or here's Heeman. No score in this one with the left foot. They'll send it in, but this is going to be handled by Thomas Cooper. Cooper trying to get to midfield. Campbell doing a little pushing there.
I know you're busy tomorrow, but after our game, there's soccer on from sun to sundown. Watch 10 minutes of the game. And don't watch the game itself. Watch the framing of the cameras. Watch how they zoom into different plays.
Here's Calderon.
Do what they do. And then watch the shot competition. Watch how the director
Back to Campbell. Campbell with the left foot, trying to sneak it through a couple of defenders to Harris. Now Bonet gets a foot on it. but it's taken away by Ferraro for Culver. Good footwork on the far side by the Vikings. Ready to come in for Culver. It's Kaita. Abram Kaita. He comes from the state of Minnesota, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, Minneapolis area. Calderon. Nice pass. Vikings in close. This one hits a defender. Vikings still have possession. There's Heeman. And he'll give this one off to Calderon. Vikings keeping it in the zone. Sends this one in. Vikings again keeping this in play. To Heeman. Fires it out in front. Ooh, Vikings just couldn't control that one. Now Bonet does have it. Raul from 30 yards out on the right side. Sends it into the corner. They'll send this one out in front, and it's going to be taken by Cooper. 22 minutes, first half, no score. Montesino. Vikings have really kind of controlled the pace here, but not much to show. Pretty good defense by the Wildcats. On the women's side, starting tomorrow, number 1 Benedictine will host Grandview. Number 4 CMU tomorrow night will host Culver Stockton. So your Wildcats will be in Fayette tomorrow night. Valley playing at 1 tomorrow afternoon on the campus of Mid-America Nazarene. That'll be followed by the same 2 schools in the first round volleyball. And then number 2 Baker will host Grayson tomorrow. So the Vikings at 1 tomorrow afternoon, the Wildcats tomorrow night at Central Methodist. 21 minutes to go in the first half. Here comes the corner kick for the Wildcats with the left foot. It's out in front, headed away. Headed away by Calderon. So we'll do it again. And this one with the left foot. Vikings trying to get possession of it, and Fierro will send it all the way to midfield. A lot of talking out on that field. Well, it's tournament play. Vikings have had a pretty good run the last few years in conference. Last year went through the conference regular season undefeated till they lost to this team in the semifinals of the conference tournament. Still able to host a first-round national game and won that. Now this year 8-1-1 in league play. Here's the throw in. Vikings have possession. Looking to get that first goal of the evening. Campbell sends it back to Luke Russell. Russell with possession in his own end. Back across to the left side to Campbell. Now the midfield, the Vikings trying to send it up, and they do send it up that left side, trying to get to Heeman. There's a defender there, flashed in front of him and took it away. Well, this one is off of Northern and send it up the left side, but the Viking defenders are there and get it back to Contomaris. 18.5 minutes to go in a scoreless first half. Vikings send it in. Is that going to be onside? I think it is. Here come the Vikes. 1-on-2 and a good defensive play. Vikings had an opportunity there. Good defensive play. And that was Gisbert, who's trying to go 1-on-2. Now Ferraro sends it in, and coming out of goal is Robert Jones to grab that one. And he'll just roll it up to his left side to Mentasti. Come the Vikes again. Trying to stay onside. Benet keeps it alive. Ferraro tries to get through a defender. Can't do it. And it's taken away by Mentasti. The Vikings get it right back. Is this going to be onside? I believe it will be for the Wildcats as they get this one with a left foot. Oh, and a good save by Contamaris. Shot was taken by Mackenzie Northern with a left foot, and Contamaris had to go to his right and knock it away. Going to be a corner kick now in the far corner. That ball took one bounce in front of Contamaris, and he was able to knock it away. But a corner kick coming for the Wildcats on the far side. No score in the first half. And they'll send this one in. It's headed away. See if the Vikings can clear it out of there. They will. 16 and a half minutes to go in the first half that's moving right along, no score. Here come the Vikings on the attack. They're trying to keep it in play, and they will. Heeman on the left side. Sends it all the way across to the right to Benet. Raul spins. And they center this one, and it's booted away at the last moment. That thing was right in front of the goal. And Shireding just said, and he booted that one into the Viking Village housing units, I think. I send this one. Here's a header. That's a goal. The Vikings get the header and the goal, and I believe that's Luke Russell. So the Vikings get the first goal of the night. And it's Luke Russell out of Northern Ireland. And it's 1-0 Vikings. That's a big goal with 15:43 to go in the first half. Boy, nice pass. It was a nice corner. And right to Russell for the header. Took it right by Robert Jones. Just the way you draw it up. So Valley gets the first goal, and that's huge in these conference playoffs. Boy, the Wildcats trying to stay onside. This one goes out right by the Valley bench. Be thrown in by Thomas. Thomas gets it into Shireding. He's out of St. Charles. A lot of good soccer played in St. Charles, St. Louis area. Under 15 to go, first half, 1-0 Vikings on the goal by Luke Russell. The winner of this one will play again Tuesday night. If it's the Vikings, we'll have a video live stream for you Tuesday night because they'll be at home. Culver wins, they'd probably be on the road, I'm guessing. Let's see. Culver would win. Yeah, they would be on the road either at Mid-America or at Benedictine Tuesday night. If the Vikes win, they'll be right here. Throw in for Valley on the far side.
Ready,
14 minutes first half. Vladi Simic, a sub for the first time of the evening. And it looks like that'll be Bascalo. Sleven Bascalo out of Serbia will be coming in. Send this one in, and the Vikings tried to head that one, but it goes by quite harmlessly. For the header there was Juan Carlos. So coming out for the Vikings is Mark Heeman as Bascalo is in. Robert Jones sends this one to midfield. Battle for possession here, and this will go out. It'll belong to the Wildcats. 13 minutes to go first half. With possession is Mentasti. Well, the Vikings really working defensively. And there's Cooper. Now it goes out. Be Viking possession. Luke Russell's goal, the only one to this point. Ferraro trying to get it to Bonet. Raul, good job on the far side. Raul's back in the middle waiting for a pass here. Let's see if he's going to get it. He does. About 30 yards out. A little fancy footwork. Sends it by just wide left. Nice footwork, and with a left foot, sent it wide left. Jones was diving for it, but it was left by a couple of feet. Good footwork by Raul before he fired that one wide left. Good job by the Vikings. Ferraro takes it away. Now they send it over to the right side. Vikings trying to keep possession. Bascalo unable to do so. Bonet with it. Back to Heeman. Luke Russell sends it into the Culver zone. 11 minutes to go in the first half. 1-0 Valley. That one's knocked off the field of play up toward the Malcolm Student Center. Here's a throw in. Vikings trying to keep that one in, and they do. Ooh, good defense there. There was a Viking right there. Culver probably thinking we can ill afford to get behind 2-0, so here they come on the attack. They keep it in play. Send it out in front, and it's booted away. 10 minutes, first half. Ball at midfield, battle for it, and it comes away to Montesino. And he is down. Clock moving, 9:17. Now they'll stop play. 9:15 to go. In the first half, I don't know if it's a cramp or what by Montesino. He's back up. And let's see, it looks like he was tripped, pushed, ran into one of the defenders for the Wildcats. All right, the Vikings work the left side to Heeman. He heads it toward the goal where it's grabbed by Jones. Jones with the left foot sends it into Viking territory, but it's headed right back. And this one will go out right by the Culver bench. It'll be a throw in for the Wildcats there, and they bring in a couple of new players. Delfay into the game, Ivo Delfay. And let's see who else came in. It looked like Greg McCrudden checked in. 1-0 Vikings. First half has moved along rather quickly, just 8 minutes to go in it. And it's just a 7:45. Battle for possession in front of the Viking goal. Thomas has it, and he can't maintain control for the Wildcats. Now he does get it back, but it goes out. Vikings trying to keep control. And this one goes back to Esty. Here come the Wildcats, trailing by a goal. We're late in the first half. Calderon, right side. There's an offside. 6.5 minutes to go, first half. George Limbert ready to come in for Valley. Vikings lead at 1-0. Shoots it up the right side, but well in front of Northern. He wasn't able to get there. And here comes Limbert into the action. And Ferraro will come out. Tiago had a couple of good chances at goals early on. Culver had a real good chance in the first couple of minutes at 2-on-1. They were unable to take advantage of, and that was their best chance tonight, at least to this point. This goes out. It'll belong to the Wildcats with 5.5 to go first half. Throw in. Will come from Stutt, Patrick Stutt. And here's the throw in. This one headed out right by the Valley bench. Clock continuing to move. Stutt will throw it in again. Headed away again by the Vikings. But the Wildcats able to keep it in the Valley end. Wildcats, I thought for a moment had something going. Good defense by the Vikings, though. Vladi Simic races after that loose ball and fires it into Montesino. Good footwork again by Benet. Sends it back to the middle to Montesino. All the way over to the right side as the Vikings try to mount an attack here, leading 1-0. Send it into the corner right side. Back to the middle, but Benet could not come up with that one, and it's sent high in the air and well out. So the Vikes will have a corner here, and it's going to be from Bascalo. Bascalo with the corner, and he sends it out in front. It's knocked away. It's still loose. Russell tries to head it. Ball loose on the turf, and finally knocked away. Russell couldn't find it for a moment. It was right there for a moment, but he just couldn't see it. Now this one's sent out. So with 3:23 and counting in the first half, 1-0 Vikings. As you can see, that ball was just right on the turf for a moment, but the Vikings couldn't get to it. Cooper gives it off to Montesino, or Montesino takes it away from Cooper, rather. And this will go out. Now, Mentasti is down. He's going to be up, get up, and be all right. Montesino checking on him. All right, here's the throw in. We're down to 2.5 minutes in the first half. Tyler Pace, one of the defensemen for the Wildcats. This one goes out on the far side. Culver will have the throw in there, but that clock moving down to the 2-minute mark, close to the 2-minute mark here in the first half. And they'll throw this one in, headed away by the Vikings. Culver tries to keep it in, and they do. And they've got a shot, but this will go wide left from about 25 yards out. One 1-0 Vikings. Contamera's taking all the time he needs. In the football end zone, or he sends it to midfield with the right foot. There's a push, and it's going to be a foul on Culver, so the Vikings will have it at midfield. Time to mount yet another attack here with 1:17 to go in the first half. Send it deep left for Heeman. Heeman gets a foot on it. Gets by one defender, gets by another defender, but can't get by the third one. Now the Vikings keep it in, and they've got a shot. Here's Heeman. It goes out as one of the defensemen. Tyler Pace slid in there to knock it away. 40 seconds to go. Vikings, well, they're going to give possession to the Wildcats. 30 seconds to go in the half. 1-0 Valley. On the goal by Luke Russell. Midfield. Battle for possession here. Oh, the Vikings may have one more shot at it here. Here's his shot, and that goes high and wide right. And that probably will do it for the half. I think that will do it for the first half. So, the Vikings getting the goal from Luke Russell, and we are at the break in this first round Heart of America Conference soccer match, and the Vikings lead it by the score of 1-0. We're ready for play in the second half. Vikings getting the one goal from Luke Russell to lead 1-0. And the second half is underway. Vikings up there right side, give it off to Narvas. He sends one in front. It's grabbed by Robert Jones. The Wildcats moving right to left as we look down the field. That's from south end to the north. And they need a goal to tie early in the second half. Let's see if we can give you a couple of halftime scores. Baker over William Penn, 2-0. Valley, of course, 1-0. And Grandview leading Central Methodist 1-0. I believe those other two were halftime scores as well. So that's what we have this evening. If the Vikings win, we'll be back here Tuesday night. If Culver wins, they'll be on the road. And last year when these teams played, it went to overtime, 4-3 Culver. Montesino gets it into Narvas. Vikings controlling it on their right side. We're just underway in the second half. We'll talk about the all-conference team here in just a bit, as both of these teams are represented. Vikings trying to put the pressure on the far side. And send this one in, but goes right to Robert Jones. Vikings play 6 players on the all-conference team, 2 first-teamers. And the midfielder, Raul Bonet, is second straight offensive player of the year in the conference. This goes through the defense, but goes right to Robert Jones. Bonet, the offensive player of the year with it. Well, here is that first team all conference from these two schools. Raul Bonet, of course, Missouri Valley. I mentioned him. And also first team, Juan Carlos Harris. Coach of the year, Nate Hauser of Baker. Defensive player, Amir Didik of Baker. He was also the most valuable player. Vikings with it. Looking to increase their 1-0 lead. Knocked away by the Wildcats. Vikings keep it in front. And now one of the Wildcats is down. Second team, Contamaris, the Viking goalie, made second squad, as did Luke Russell, who scored the only goal of this game. From Culver Stockton, Holmeyer made second team, as did Caruso. So they are the two Wildcats on the second team. Munar and Ferreira also made second team for Valley. Third team, the Vikings did not place anyone on third team. But so there you have the all-conference selections from these two squads. We've played 5 minutes of the second half. Vikings up 1-0. And don't forget, here come the Wildcats. Going to have a shot, and this one, rolls by wide left. And Contreras was out of goal, so that one was just at the mercy of the angle, and it rolled wide left. Or we would have been tied. Contreras had vacated the goal area. And that one rolled by him, but it rolled wide left.
You know, pretty much everything regarding Courtney's funny. So pretty much everything regarding Courtney is funny. Or can be.
Throw in for the Vikings, but the Wildcats knock it away. Here's Raul. Now, plenty of time in this first half, but if you're down a goal here, you're starting, not yet, but get that 20-minute mark, you're starting to think, okay, we better get something going here. And you certainly don't want the Vikings to get another one. This one headed away about 30 yards out. Vikings trying to keep it in. Battle for possession. It rolls out. It'll be Culver's possession near the Viking bench. Culver with possession. That was Ferrara. One 0 Valley, the Luke Russell goal, the only one to this point. And we're at the 38-minute mark. We've played 7 minutes of the second half. Send this one into the Wildcats. They try to head it. Vikings clear the area. Headed right back by the Wildcats, though. The Vikings trying to get possession. Now this one is sent in. And the Vikings have to send that one out. Here comes the throw in from the corner. That is cleared out by Harris. Vikings now on the move. And this one goes out on the far side. And over toward Marl Street.
Yeah, corner far side, 7's going to get it. 32, going on 7. 32, 32, 31, you can line up. Yeah, right. Right there, right there's one. 32.
Corner kick for the Vikings, and it's out in front. Russell tried to head it and couldn't come up with it. Now the Wildcats trying to get possession. It goes out. I'm going to say Wildcat possession. And this one sent up into the Viking crowd, just sitting behind the Valley bench, and a pretty good crowd, pretty good section there behind the Viking bench tonight. whole live stream crew would like to thank Athletic Director Tom Pfeiffer for providing some halftime nourishment for us. We appreciate that, and all the workers here tonight. We'll be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to start our pregame coverage of the Baker Wildcats, Missouri Valley College Viking football teams. Both teams are 3-0 in South Division play. Wildcats are ranked 3rd in the country. Vikings on a 4-game winning streak. Wildcats try to send it in front. Vikings knock it away. We've played 10 minutes of the second half now. Still 1-0. This one comes all the way back to Jones. Jones grabs it. Now back to midfield. Here come the Vikings on the move. And that one is knocked away. Bonet keeps it into the Culver end. Off to Ferraro. Ferraro sends it right side. This one goes all the way across to the left. Right to Robert Jones. Ooh, the Vikings almost had a good opportunity there. Knocked away at the last moment. Here's a shot that's going to go high. Just missing the football goal post, the right side. There'll be a guy here on campus tomorrow that can kick it a long ways. Clarence Carter, field goal kicker for the Baker Wildcats. 2 years ago, he won a game right here on about a 59-yard field goal. Clock is stopped. All threes. 33 minutes, 33 seconds to go in regulation. Vikings leading 1-0. And Blake Ordell wanting to conversation with the referee down below us, explaining something to Coach Ordell. And Coach Ordell, it doesn't appear to me, is buying it. But that's the whatever the ruling was. Here come the Vikings. Or rather, here come the Wildcats. The Viking defenders did a nice job there. Narvos to knock it away. Ferrari. 33 minutes to go in regulation. Again, if the Vikings win, we'll be right back here next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And our opponent will be the winner of the Mid-America Benedictine match being played tonight in Olathe. Or maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure when that match is being played. But that's who the Vikings will play. And either way, the winner of this one plays the winner of that one. If it's the Vikes, they'll be at home. If it's Culver, they'll be on the road. Tuesday. Wildcats need the tying goal. Vikings would like another one. Maybe a little insurance here. On the women's side of the all-conference, I have a few of those for you as well. Vikings placed 4 players, 3 first-teamers. Defender Michelle Plowman, senior midfielder Maria Blasco, and sophomore forward Emma Martinez all made first team for the women. So congratulations to those ladies. I have the first two teams. And Plowman, Blasco, and Martinez all on first team. Defensive Player of the Year was Krista Hooper of Baker. Rosie McShane of Benedictine was the Offensive Player of the Year and the Player of the Year. And the Coach of the Year, Lincoln Robley of Benedictine. Culver Stockton, Jill Greibel was a second teamer, as was Brittany McMahon. And for the Vikings, Irana Sanchez, the goalie, made second team. That's on the women's side. 30.5 minutes to go. Vikings leading 1-0. That is Juan Carlos Aras, who is down on his knees. He's going to slowly get back up. The Vikes will have possession. Bonet to the middle. Culver's did a nice job with him tonight. Ferraro left side, who tries to go back to the middle. Vikings get to it, and this shot is very short and high. One bit Ben Harris, who almost whiffed on that one over there. Juan Carlos. We've played 15 minutes of this second half and no scoring in the second period. Missouri Valley trying to advance to the conference semifinals as the number 2 seed. Battle for possession. Vikings have it to the left side. Let's see if they can center one here. They do. Ferraro has it. Turns. Gives it back to the middle. Here's a shot wide right. And that was Bonet. In for the Wildcats is Patrick Stutt. Still 1-0, 30 minutes to go in the half, in the regulation. Vikings have not allowed the Wildcats too many good choices, and now Ferraro and Caruso wrapped up an arm in arm, and they both go down right in front of the Culver bench. I don't think anybody got a yellow card off that. You can see they're tangled up right in front of the Culver bench. And Caruso goes down. Here's a header. Culver keeps it in. That shot high. So the Vikings, with that 1-0 lead, Luke Russell's goal. Vikings sending this for our onside. They're going to rule he's onside. He gets by the goal. He takes the shot and hits the side of the net. Well, he was onside too. And he took it to the left, but it was too deep on that left side. And as he turned to fire toward the goal, he hit the left side. Raul Bonet with some good footwork on the far side. The Conference Offensive Player of the Year for the second straight year. This one goes out. Vikings now 26.5 minutes to go in regulation, hanging on to that 1-goal lead. We have a doubleheader for you tomorrow. It'll be basketball, or rather football in the afternoon. Basketball, the audio only tomorrow night. Football will be here on the video tomorrow afternoon. There's a good defense by Culver. The only goal came off a corner kick and a header by Luke Russell, who now has possession at midfield. Sends it deep left side. Here come the Vikings. They've got the numbers. There's a shot, and it's bounds off the chest of Robert Jones, and then one of the defenders sends that one again toward, sends that one out of here toward Morrill Street. Corner kick for the Vikings. They'll send it in, and Ferraro keeps it alive, but Jones comes out of goal to grab that one. This one goes out at midfield. Look out. And sliding off the turf was Gisbert, and he's not too happy. Got skinned up a little bit there. You can see on our replay, it's a pretty good push, and Gisbert goes sliding off the turf and onto the asphalt walking track. Probably has some skinned up palms, I would say right now. Here's the shot, or here's the send it in. Ferraro keeps it alive through a couple of defenders. Goes off to the left side. They'll center this one. It's headed away, and Culver's going to come up with possession. This one goes out right in front of the Viking bench. 1-0 is our score at the 24 minutes to go in regulation. Vikings working that right side. Good move. Here's the centering pass. Ooh, just goes right by, but the Vikes still have a shot. This one just goes over the top. Just over the top. Good job by the Vikings to keep Harris keeping it alive and then sends it in. And the shot was just high and wide right. And down below us, ball goes out as Benet watches it go out. It'll be Viking possession. Jarvis will throw it in. Now there's some. Gonna believe one of the Wildcats gonna be called for a hold. Campbell sends it deep, and Robert Jones comes out of goal to handle that one. We're 23 minutes. So now if you're Culver, you start thinking, we've got to get something going here and get a goal. You're at the 20, coming down to the 20-minute mark left in regulation. The foul will come in. Bonet with it. Raul. Vikings looking for that another insurance goal. They've got it deep in Culver territory, trying to send it to the middle. Here's a shot, and this was wide left. I believe that was Ferraro again. Or either Rafael Alcaraz. Nonetheless, went wide left. Last year we went to overtime. I'm telling you this much, it's a lot more pleasant being here tonight than it was a year ago. I do remember that. When John, texted John at Culver, Stockton today, John Childs, and I said, you refresh my memory. I do remember the weather. It was cold that night. And 4-3 was the score. Culver won it in overtime. Here come the Vikings leading 1-0, sending it to the left side. They've got the numbers. It's out in front, knocked away. Good defensive play again, down to 21 minutes. We have not had a stoppage in play here in the second half. And coming up on about 25-9 Central Time. Very calm evening, rather cool, but good weather to be playing. 50 degrees right now. Pike sent it out in front again, knocked away once again by the Wildcats. But as long as the Vikings have possession, Montesino with it. Send it back in, make them work defensively. And they give it out now to Alcaraz. Alcaraz will send it wide right. 20 minutes to go. So we played 25 minutes of this second half. And again, now you're at that point now where Culver's starting to think we have got to get something going here. But you're down, that 20 minutes will go by in a hurry. And if you're the Vikings, it can't go quickly enough. Valley with possession in the Culver end, back to the middle. Good pass. Here's a shot. Ooh, good job by Jones. It's loose, and Jones scrambles to his feet and dives on it. Went off his chest, and he had to get up and scramble after that one and did a nice job. Here come the Wildcats. They have something going here. Here's a shot, and a good save by Contreras. That would have been wide left anyway, but he didn't take a chance. He went down and smothered that one. $19 minutes to go, regulation. At midfield, Wildcats trying to get something going here. This one goes out. I believe it'll be a throw in for the Viking, or for the Wildcats, excuse me. The Wildcats will have it right around midfield. 18 minutes to go. 1-0 Vikings. Since when it's headed to the left. Vikings try to clear it, and they do. Here comes Valley. Vikings bring it up the right side. Ferraro on the run. Still on the run. He tries to get it back, and he is tripped. So that stops the clock. 6:53. Or 17:53, excuse me. All right, let's see. I think Ferraro will have this kick.
Yeah, there's three. Outs of one. And in fact, one. Okay, one. Ready one.
Assistant athletic director Colin Smith, a very popular guy right now. Here's Ferraro, sends it, and it's just tipped over the top by Jones. Good play by Jones. Colin Smith pretty popular right now. They had some extra sandwiches next door, and he's passing those out to some of the students. Here's a corner from the left side. Out front, it's knocked away or kicked away by one of the Wildcats. 17:20 to go, and this comes all the way close to midfield, and it's going to go out. Let's see whose possession. I believe it's going to be possession to the Wildcats. They're running out of time. This one sent up into the bleachers. Now there'll be a throw. There were about three soccer balls on the field at one time. Now, here's the trip. And this is still going to be, it's starting to get a little chippy out there now. And a 1-0 game, 16:45 to go. And again, if you're Culver, that time will fly by. Here's a header. It's out in front, but Contreras able to get to it. And here come the Vikings up that left side. They'll send it back to Luke Russell. He of the lone goal of this match. Vikings play a little keep away here at midfield, and the clock winds down to 15.5 minutes. Ferraro gets it back, a little touch pass. Here comes Ferraro through the middle, loses it, picks it back up. Good ball, good handle, and he sends this one just wide right. Upper right, he was shooting for that upper right corner and just missed it. But again, Valley keeping the pressure on here. A lot going on this weekend, and handed this from, we play here from Andy Polverenti, our sports information. Soccer team, of course, in action tonight. Women's team tomorrow. Here come the Vikings. Ooh, that one's blocked nicely by Culver. Now the Wildcats try to send it up, but it's knocked away. Of course, with this game going on tonight, the women will play tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock at Mid-America Nazarene. Here's Bonet. Gets one out in front. Here, ooh, and a good job defensively by one of those defensemen to knock that one away, or the Vikings would have had a wide open shot. Vikings keep the pressure on, though. And Culver can ill afford to give up yet another goal. Both cross-country teams compete tomorrow at the Heart of America Athletic Conference Championship in Oskaloosa. Ball loose in front, and this one slides in front and goes rolling in front of the goal mouth, off to the right. But both teams in Oskaloosa, that'll meet at 10 in the morning. Volleyball plays at Mid-America at 4 tomorrow afternoon. The women's wrestling team competing in a duel at Lindenwood tomorrow. The rodeo teams at South Arkansas this weekend. Football team tomorrow against Baker. And the number 4 ranked men's wrestling team opening play in the Bethany Open in Lindsborg, Kansas tomorrow. So, boy, we have a lot going on. Culver with it. Vikings, Friaro takes it away. 13 minutes, folks, left in regulation. Here come the Vikings trying to stay onside here. And they'll send it off to the left. Back to the middle. Vikings still have control of it. Back to the middle again. Here's a shot, and this one goes wide right by Alcaraz. Still 1-0. Vlade Simic starting to pace down there. Blake Ordell standing in front of his bench. Vikings, of course, the number 2 seed and the favorite, but tell you what, been a good match. It was 3-2 last time these teams played in Canton in the regular season, so not that much difference between these two teams. Here come the Vikings, 3-on-2. Again, nice job by the defense. Ferraro gets it. He'll flip it in with the left foot, and Jones is there. 12 minutes to go. Well, if I said with 20 minutes to go was urgency time, it is urgency time now for Culver. Oh boy, those two players go up and collide in midair, and they're both down. And that is Mackenzie Northern for Culver, and slow to get up for the Vikings is Luke Russell. They both went up for that. Both went down. Luke's back up. Northern's still down. And that stops the clock. 11:44 to go. In regulation tonight. Luke Russell with the only goal of the evening, and that came about midway through, well, about 12 minutes or so to go in the first half. Let's see, good to see that Northern is back up. And one more note, we'll wait for that. The Missouri Valley College men's lacrosse team has been picked to win a 3rd straight Great Rivers Lacrosse Conference division. That poll was released, and Valley's number 1. So high expectation for that club as well. Again, good crowd of students sitting down to my right behind the Valley bench. So this team being well supported tonight. Ferraro tries to keep control. Now Bonet. Vikings trying to advance to the semifinal round. And Culver looking for that tying goal to maybe send this to overtime or give them some hope in regulation. But first of all, they need the tie. Cooper will send it up the right side, and that's an offside. Viking possession, or see if we have any updates of any scores for you. Nope, last we had were just those halftime scores. And this one sent toward the Malcolm Center. .10:24 and counting. Harry Nicholas checks in to the lineup for the Wildcats. Nicholas just off the bench will have the throw in. Folks, we have 10 minutes to go. Throws this one in. Try to head this one. The Vikings will clear it. Here comes Valley, 3-on-2. At midfield, Ferraro had control of it, and then it was knocked away. Wildcats thought that should have been their possession, didn't get the call. So this one sent out, it'll be the Vikings. And again, now if you're Culver, you really have to hustle. You really have to scramble. 9.5 to go. The Vikings will take their time doing everything they can here. Narvis will throw in. Vikings keep it out. Oh, almost had a chance for Bonet, but it was knocked away from him. And that's one thing Culver cannot do now is give the Vikings another goal. Baker leads William Penn 2-0. Grandview leads Central Methodist in the 4-5 matchup 3-1. That's being played in Fayette. Thanks to Eric Montgomery for those updates. Vikings win, they'll be here next Tuesday. If the Wildcats win, they'll go on the road. 1-0 Valley. 8.5 minutes to go. The winner of this play is either Mid-American Nazarene or Benedictine. Baker wins, they'd be at home, and if Grandview upsets Central Methodist, they would go to Baker. If Baker holds on to that lead over William Penn, they're up 2-0. Corner kick coming for Ferraro for the Vikings. Sends it in low. It's knocked away. Vikings trying to keep it in. 7:48 to go. Back to Ferraro. On the right side. He sends it back across to the left. There's a trip. Viking possession. 7:34. And counting. Getting ready to come in for Valley. MNU beat Benedictine 2-1. So thank you, Eric Montgomery. And the winner of this game will play MNU as Mid-American Nazarene, the number 3 seed, or beat Benedictine 2-1. So Mid-American Nazarene moves on. And they're awaiting the winner of this one. So Benedictine is out. Their women are the number 1 seed, and they'll begin play tomorrow. 6:49 and counting. If the Vikings hold on, they'll host Mid-American Nazarene next Tuesday night, and we'll have it for you. If Culver comes back to win, they go to Olathe the next Tuesday. Throw in for the Vikings with 6.5 minutes left in regulation. And we saw that Baker match here 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And the Vikings had a 1-0 lead, and Baker, here's Ferraro, he gets by the defender, and oh, what a play by the goalie Jones. He came out, cut off the angle, 1-on-1, and he won that battle. That was a heck of a play by Jones. That would about put it away. Ferraro gets away again. He gets by a defender, here he comes again. This time it goes wide left. Jones came out of goal, and Ferraro had the shot, and it rolled out in front and just missed the left pipe. Just missed the left pipe. Good move. Good stop by Jones the first time, and then here came Ferraro the second time, made a nice move, and his shot, as he got through 2 defenders, just missed wide left. Throw in by Culver. Boy, the Wildcats got a break there. And now a little miscommunication, and the Vikings are going to get the throw in. 5 minutes to go. Now that gave the Wildcats a little hope. Those 2 misses by Ferraro. So here comes Bonet. Sends it down to Ferraro again on the right side. He has had some chances tonight. Now he gets by his defender again. Tries to send it in. Knocked away by the Wildcats. Under 5 minutes left. They try to get it to midfield. It's sent out. It'll be Viking possession, I believe. It will be. Vikes will take their time now. Narvas with the throw in. And this one is sent. No, it didn't go out. I thought it was going to go out. The Viking bench did not. Culver trying to keep it in. Now the Vikings keep it in. Good footwork. They'll send it back to Bonet out front. Bonet about 30 yards out, sends it to the left side. Wildcats have it. Vikings still with possession, but there's going to be a foul, and it'll be Wildcat possession. We have 4 minutes left in regulation. Send this one deep. Vikings headed away. Boy, Ferraro had 2 chances ready to ice this one, and now we're going to have a foul on the far side. One of the Vikings thrown down over there. And getting back up, that was Bonet. Viking possession, clock stop, 3:56. Ready to come in for the Wildcats is Mackenzie Northern ready to come back in. 1-0 Valley, under 4 minutes remaining. Again, Mid-America defeated Benedictine 2-1 tonight. Baker leading William Penn 2-0, and Grandview leading CMU 3-1 in the 4-5 matchup. Wildcats need to score to give them a chance, maybe even in overtime. Here's a shot that's just high. Boy, the Vikings are putting the pressure on that one just over the top. Oh, man. And you just wonder, with all these chances the Vikings have now, you just giving Culver just enough to stay in. That was up just by a foot. Now it's headed back by Valley, hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Luke Russell's goal, will it be the one? 3 minutes to go. And they'll send this one in. Headed away by Bonet. Vikings try to. Emzolo's in now for the Vikings. Number 13. Here's a shot out in front, and the Vikings were able to knock this one away. Boy, that shot was hooking in there. There were a couple of Wildcats there. They're still there. Still looking for possession. And now this one is sent down to midfield. Down to 2:24. And one of the Wildcats slow to get up. Wildcats have it on the far side. Play continues. This one will go out on the far side at midfield. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes in regulation. Well, you play 88 minutes and it comes down to 2 minutes. And this will get quite intense here in this final 2 minutes of play. This one is going to go out. The Vikings, I think, will have possession, will they? Let's see. And they are going to take their time with 1:45 left. Contamaris will pick it up, and he'll slowly walk back onto the field of play with 1:35 left. Place the ball down and get into it with the right foot and send it down the right sideline, where the Wildcats will keep it in. That is Patrick Stutt. Knocked away by the Vikings. Wildcats trying to keep the pressure on. The Vikings just trying to play good defense here and knock it away. Now they're going to send it all the way back to Jones. Down to 1 minute left. 1 minute to go. Vikings with possession. Hanging on to that 1-goal lead. Here comes Valley, and they are onside on a 2-on-1. Here's the shot. It's blocked again by Jones. Tremendous play by Jones. 43 seconds to go. Up the right side, this one's going to go all the way down into the corner. The Vikings will send it out. 35 seconds left. What a job by Jones. It could be 5-0 with the pressure they put on him, and he has been up for the task. 25 seconds left. Throw in coming here for Culver. 25 seconds to go. 20 seconds to go. Here's the throw in. The Vikings need to get it out of there. Culver trying to keep it in. It's headed away. Down to 12 seconds. Vikings need one more defensive kick, and that's it. That one is booted all the way down the midfield, and that's going to do it. The Vikings are going to come away with a first round 1-0 win. The goal by Luke Russell holds up. And what a match. But the Vikings knock off the 7th seed in the game, Culver Stockton Wildcats, 1-0. So Missouri Valley will be in the semifinals on Tuesday, 7 o'clock, and they'll host Mid-America Nazarene, and we will have that match for you. The way it looks right now, again, these are not official, they're not over, but Baker leading William Penn, I'm sure that's late in the match. They're leading 2-0, and then Grandview leading Central Methodist 3-1. So if those hold up next Tuesday night in the semifinals, it would be Grandview at Baker and then Mid-America Nazarene here at Missouri Valley. So that's what we have for tonight. Our women play at Mid-America Nazarene tomorrow at 1. Our women's volleyball team plays Mid-America Nazarene in the first round of the conference tournament at 4 tomorrow. And right here tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we'll start our pregame coverage as the third-ranked Baker Wildcat football team will be in town to take on the Missouri Valley College Vikings. 1 o'clock, we'll have it for you on live stream, Stretch Internet, and also on KMMO FM radio in Marshall. And then we'll have women's basketball tomorrow night at 7 on Stretch, audio only. So a busy Saturday coming up. Men winning on the Luke Russell goal, 1-0 tonight over Culver Stockton. We'll play Tuesday against Mid-America Nazarene. 7 o'clock, we'll have it on the live stream. For Chaz Maddie and the entire live stream crew, I'm Ken Cuiava. So long from Marshall.